So in the past, I haven't really loved the idea of planning out your whole day, of time boxing, and kind of painting yourself into a corner of having such a strict schedule. This idea of order, this idea of too much order, it just felt restrictive. It felt claustrophobic. As someone who is fairly ambitious, I would say, and wants to accomplish many, many things though, and those things haven't been accomplished yet, I realized that something has to change. I realized that with so many ideas floating around in my head and so many different projects I want to tackle, it is just unrealistic, bordering on impossible to be able to do all those things in any kind of a timely manner and not have some kind of plan, some kind of schedule. So I am 23 years old. I have finished university. I don't have anything else major going on in my life. I'm newly single. I have time. Currently just work a minimum wage retail job, 40 hours a week. But other than that, my life is free of any other commitments. In other words, now is the time to lock the fuck in. So, out of all of these projects that I want to get done, I realize the kind of scatterbrained approach of kind of chipping away a little bit at all these projects simultaneously is extremely unrealistic. Not only is it obviously inefficient time-wise to flip between a bunch of different projects, but it's also just inefficient productivity-wise and like frame of mind-wise. It obviously takes time for your brain to kind of get in the groove of doing a specific thing. For example, let's say you're playing chess or something, if you haven't played in a while, you might miss a couple dumb moves. Your brain is not in the thought process, but when you're playing all the time, you're locked in. You just know what to do from even your previous experience, and then you can build on that previous experience and get better. Same thing with these like projects. It's obviously inefficient to switch between them, but also you want to not have to switch between a bunch of different projects because it takes your brain time to get good at that one specific thing. So a better approach, I am now realizing, will be to just pick one or two of these projects, focus on them proper, be always in the headspace of these two projects and get them done, and then we can move on to something else. So for me, I'm working on a book. It's called Order and Chaos, and it's a dystopian novel that's set in a far, far distant future when the heat death of the universe is approaching. I'm not gonna get into it right now exactly what the premise is, but yeah, I've been working on that. I've had that idea for maybe 5 years now. I started working on it a little bit 5 years ago, but obviously with university and distractions and other things in my life, like obviously I didn't give it the necessary time it needed. Last 4 months here, I've probably given it the most effort I ever have, and I've got about 50 pages written and then a bunch of other kind of random conversations that I know will fit in. I just have to fit them in. So that's something I'm really, really working on. One of my main goals for 2025 is to have this book written. It doesn't have to be published, but it's done. And then come start of 2026, go to some publishers, get that thing published, get that thing out to the masses. I personally think it's good. My family and friends who I've showed it to like it. So I think I have something there. So that obviously is a major, major project. I have to be willing to give it the time that it needs to grow and flourish. And with any kind of creative work, it can't be rushed. With that being said, that is task one of the day. So it is now 11 a.m. So as I said, I'm getting into this kind of like planning here. It doesn't have to be a strict schedule. Basically what I'm gonna do every single day, write down the date and then write down the things I wanna accomplish for today. So I wanna write, I wanna lift some weights, I want to apply for some jobs because I'm still looking for my chemical eng job, and I wanna read. So this morning I woke up at 9 a.m. It's Monday morning here. I worked all weekend, worked the last couple of days, so I have a day off today. Yeah, so I woke up at 9 a.m. I read from like 9:30 to 10 a.m. just to get my brain in the kind of linguistic mode, and did some stretching, drank some water. That's it, very simple. So I'm gonna plan to write for about 3 hours here. And then after that, again, like, we're not robots here, we're not like insane. So to go flat out and work all day, maybe someday I'll be able to evolve to that point. Right now, I just know it's not realistic, so why set myself up for failure? So 3 hours of writing, obviously it's a lot, but it's not too much, it's not too little. I think it's realistic. So put that in. Then from like 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., I'll just take a break, give myself 2 hours there, do whatever I want. So from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., write. From 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., relax, eat. From 4 till 5, I'm gonna apply for jobs. From 5 p.m. to 5:30, I'm gonna work out. And then when that's done at 5:30, just eat, relax. The rest of my evening is mine. If you kind of treat your like things you're trying to accomplish as kind of like a 9 to 5, then it really doesn't make it seem so bad. It's not like, again, we're not like robots here. I'm not gonna set myself up for failure and say, oh yeah, let me just write all day. Like, I just know that's not gonna happen. So I'd rather set up a more easy schedule and hit it with 100% accuracy, or at least 90, than set up like a crazy unachievable schedule and hit it with about 20% accuracy. And then from 11 p.m. to 11:30, kind of unwind before bed. No phone, no distractions. Maybe sip a cup of tea, read a little book, go to bed. So that's my day. That's how I have it kind of time boxed here. So I wrote the different times, and then in between the time I say the activity. I'm so sorry, this is reversed. But yeah, that's it. That's the plan for today. Let me take you guys along with me, vlog it. I always see people recommend it on my YouTube page, or you see podcast footage or whatever, when people have already kind of accomplished the things that they're setting out to do. I rarely see anyone who hasn't made it at all yet, hasn't accomplished the things they want, and just showing the process it takes them to get there. And that's the kind of point of this channel, where I'm not claiming to have all the answers, far from it, but I know with my trajectory, I'm gonna achieve some kind of success, some definition of success. And there's a lot of projects that I want to bring to fruition, and I want to do that in a way that people are able to watch and maybe get inspired, and even just kind of see the process that I took to get there, and maybe they can follow a similar one if it works, or don't follow anything I said if it doesn't work. But either way, just kind of be an example. So with that being said, it is now 11:05 a.m. We are cutting into my writing time, so let me get to writing. And for the next 3 hours here, that's what I'll do. I will write my novel. So it is now 3:15 p.m. here. I know according to the plan, I was only supposed to write till 2 p.m. I took a couple 10-minute breaks while writing, so I went an hour longer here just so I could finish up chapter 2. So chapter 2 is now done. Yeah, that was good. That was successful. That was productive. I'm gonna like do this process where I kind of chart my days every single morning, take a couple minutes, just write out the things that I want to achieve, and then form a very loose kind of schedule. Not a prison, it's not a box to paint myself into, but it's just a framework to help me get my tasks done. So that's writing done. Now I'm gonna take my 2-hour break here, eat, relax, hang out. If you want your body to do continuous work, you have to reward your mind. As much as you'd want to just be a machine and just kind of plow through everything. I don't know exactly what my limit is for that, but I know it's unrealistic to work all out all day, every day. I've done it in university where assignments were due, and for that week you went all out, but then after that you're just burnt out. It's not really sustainable. And with this, I want to find a system that works for me, that is effective but still sustainable. So that's it for now. Eat, relax, hang out, and then back to work. Lunch made in probably 10 minutes here. Nothing special at all. Some ground beef, some rice, some spinach. Nothing glamorous, nothing spectacular. Next thing on the list was supposed to be from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. apply for jobs, and then I was gonna work out after. I just feel like working out right now before I get too tired, so I'm gonna switch that. Alrighty guys, it is now 5:30. I just finished weightlifting in the basement here. Hit some chest, hit some shoulders, hit some triceps. Now I just have to fix up my resume. If I spend like half an hour doing that, that'll be a successful day right there. And then the rest of the night, whatever. So it is now 7 p.m. here. I just finished revising my resume. And then yeah, it'll be back to sending it to possible employers. Hopefully something hits. Hopefully I get something soon, but we'll see. For now, I'm gonna hit the bookstore. I have some Chapters gift cards here. Just want to pick up a couple new books. I finished reading the couple that I picked up before and given up on a few that were not quite what I expected. So just got back home now. It's now 9:30. Went to the grocery store, went to the bookstore, went to IKEA to exchange a pot. So for Christmas, my mom got me this pot, well, a smaller version, so went and exchanged that. That was good. And then hit the store. Here's the haul. We're dialed in. Cabbage, mushroom, spinach, ground beef, butter. So these will make some chili. And then this is for breakfast. We got some nuts, we got some berries, we got some very dark chocolate, and some protein-rich Greek yogurt. All that came to 70 bucks Canadian. And then I got a couple books. So I got 2 books by Albert Camus, The Myth of Sisyphus and The Rebel. Camus is an author I've been wanting to read for a while. I hear both these books really good, so excited for those. I'm off for the most part tomorrow. I think I start work at 5 p.m. So I'll probably try and crank out this book before I work. It's like only 130 pages. The text is pretty big. So we'll see how that goes. And then I've got Dostoevsky here. So I've read Crime and Punishment a couple years back. Phenomenal book. It was long and at times a little hard to get through, but overall, the message, the language, everything phenomenal. I then read The Gambler by Dostoevsky, which was a lot more concise. It still had really good writing, but it didn't have like such a large overarching theme that was really good. This book, Brothers Karamazov, I hear is phenomenal. A bunch of my friends have read it. Yeah, I've just heard really, really good things. It's another big boy, but super pumped for this one. And then the guy who I met tree planting last year, he recommended this book, Black Swan. It's about kind of like crazy, unpredictable events. It's like a business book. So excited for this one as well. One of my New Year's resolutions was to read 2 books every single month. So I was reading The Trial by Franz Kafka. It's taken me so long to get through it, even though it's only about 200 pages. Well, this version anyway. Just because it's just a bad book. And it's really just a book about the bureaucracy and the courts trying to like have him go on this trial, and he just does nothing to help himself. So
yeah, that book's just taking me a while to get through. So I was like, have to pick up some new books here, continue reading. So it's now February 9th, I believe. And because of that, I haven't read any books, but this guy, I'm counting on it to get me back on track here. It's not too long, as I said, 140 pages by the looks of things. The Myth of Sisyphus, and should be an exciting read. I hear it's deep, it's dark. It was funny, I was buying these books, and then I was talking with the dude who was like the cashier, and then he was like, "You're going down a dark path," and then I was like, "Oh yeah, no, like I read Crime and Punishment. I hear Brothers Karamazov is good," and he's like, "Yeah, it's good. I've read it." And then he's like, "Oh, but Calamus, it's a dark path." And then he kind of chuckled. He's like, "Yeah, it's good." And then I asked him which out of the two, The Rebel or The Myth of Sisyphus, he liked more. He said The Myth of Sisyphus because he's like, this is just life. So I'm like, okay. So yeah, read this one tomorrow. Now I'm gonna make some chili with those ingredients I bought, do a big meal prep, use that pot I just got from IKEA, and then that'll pretty much be it for my evening here. Alrighty guys, it's now 10:30. We've got that chili pretty much done here. Look at that thick beauty. We got mushroom, we got onion, we got black beans, nice and thick. We got ground beef, tomato, lots of spices. He who controls the spices controls the universe. If you know, you know. Let's go, baby. So, with that being said, that is the end of today. So, just an absolutely clinic of a day, really. Super productive. Did like 3 hours of writing, finished chapter 2. Did some reading this morning. I read One of the Rules of Life out of 12 rules for life. Picked up some books, did grocery shopping, meal prep for the week, made a huge pot of chili, fixed up my resume. So thank you guys for watching. We are excelling at the process. I'm nowhere near where I want to be just yet, but I know if I stay consistent here, stay vigilant, keep working, my dreams will be a reality. So follow along if you want. That's it for today's video. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.